If you're looking for an experience that's exciting but also scary, consider this activity: starting your own business. If it makes you feel any better, know that you'll be following in the footsteps of self-made billionaire entrepreneur Phil Knight, co-founder of Nike. With approximately $100 billion in assets, Nike currently has approximately $34 billion in annual sales, 74,000 employees, and a world-famous brand. But what's the secret behind his billion-dollar company? Well, let's take a look at it. In an interview promoting his book Shoe Dog, a memoir by the creator, Nike, Knight sat down with David Rubenstein, who explained how much experience Knight had when he founded the company in 1962. He says Knight didn't know anything about shoe design. Rubenstein explains Knight didn't have any money, nor was he knowing about management. So how in the world did Knight build a billion-dollar company? Despite this lack of knowledge and experience, Knight acknowledged several important details about Nike's origins and how the company was able to develop. He says he was able to take advantage of the running boom, which became the jogging boom, which became the fitness boom, and took advantage of all that. Knight and his team's ability to quantify and account for market demand helps offset the perceived perceptual lack of business and design experience. Knight's extraordinary skills to understand what is needed by customers helped him, and not only with his early Nike partners, to become successful. Use your 20s to learn and explore. Everyone thinks when they graduate college, they need to get a job and need to know what they need to do for the future, and this couldn't be further from the truth. After graduating from college and grad school and spending a year in the Navy, 24-year-old Phil Knight decided that he wanted to make a trip around the world, and he asked his parents for money. It was the early 60s at the time, and travel was still exotic and expensive. He boarded a plane to Miami, and in the months that followed, Knight continued his travel and visited Japan, Hong Kong, Vietnam, India, Kenya, Turkey, England, and a handful of other countries. Many of the historical, cultural, and economic lessons that he learned applied to his life. He used it simply as an inspiration, and that is one of his secrets to his success. Next up, believe in what you do. Knight's first job in Hawaii was to sell encyclopedias. His second one was to sell securities. He was terrible at his first job and mediocre at his second. It occurred to him that as an introvert, maybe he wasn't cut out to be a salesman, but when he went on to sell shoes, much to his surprise, he turned out to be a master salesman almost from day one because he believed in what he did. When Knight was in college, he had been a track athlete in college, and he ran because he was good and liked it. It made him an incredible shoe salesman down the road. This was a product that he believed in. He started Nike as a shoe company for running shoes, especially since it eventually became the Nike powerhouse selling this today. Even though he was not good at the jobs that he previously did, he believed from day one, and that's what led him to success where he is today. Next up, stand for something. Brands are one of the most interesting parts of the business. Knight says a brand stands for something, and it creates emotion in a person's mind, either positive or negative, that brings all kinds of reactions to that brand. Knight said in an interview, quote unquote, "When we got to start our brand and have our name, we were ambitious for a thing that we wanted it to stand for. But as you stop and think about brands around the world, from Sony, Coca-Cola, and Rolls-Royce, where they all stand for very different things, but they all create an emotional response and something that's very strong and powerful. If you stick to something, you should be with that until you achieve your goal." Next up, find reliable partners and work in your personal life. Knight built his company from scratch with the help of several loyal companies, former athletes from college or sports team, his former coaches, several trusted accountants and lawyers, so on and so forth, and he believed in them. The parents of one of his first employees even gave him their last savings when his company needed money. They did it because they trusted Knight, and the rest is history. Now the company is one of the most successful companies in the world. He started dating his wife, Penny, around the age of 30, and their influence was just as great. She was not just a friend, he said, but a partner. Initially, he helped Blue Ribbon as the company's first accountant. He later became the foundation of him and the Knight family. It is clear from his memoirs that he viewed these early associates, business partners, and life partners as critical to his later success, which made him a billionaire. Well guys, that's going to do it for today's video, so thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon for more content just like this. Also, when you hit that bell icon, make sure to hit it from personalized to all so that you get notified about every single one of our uploads. Thanks again, and we'll see you all in the next one.